What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, guys, we're gonna have a look at champions that deal damage based on enemy max HP and Hydra, of course. We're gonna have a look which one of them are the real killers. If you don't have a Royal Guard, if you don't have a Husk, can a Septimus work? Can a Coldheart work? Which one of them are putting up the real work on the Hydra? And before we move over to talk about all that, guys, let's have a word from today's sponsor. Thank you to Valor Legends Eternity for sponsoring this video. If you like what you see on the screen and you want to get involved, you can download the game by using the link in the description down below. Plus, of course, we have a promo code to get you started. If you go right here at events and you scroll all the way at the bottom at free gift code, you can literally click on the gift code and enter Xmas Gift AK-47 to get some freebies. Valor Legends is an idle gacha game with tons of heroes waiting to be summoned and collect them. You can level them up, enhance them with different equipment, awaken them to get them even more powerful. They have different factions. So for example, if we're going all the way right here to the battle mode, you see all your heroes are on a 4x4 grid map, kind of resembling to strategy games. Faction. So if you're using heroes from the same factions, you are getting a bonus stat right here, the faction aura, which will make your team much stronger. Let's jump into a fight. So since this is a full auto game, you don't really have the options to control your heroes. It's all about the positioning on the board, okay? So that's kind of like what's gonna decide how well you strategize your team. Which hero is attacking what enemy. So it's all about positioning on the board. We have tank heroes, we have support, we have crazy DPSers. It's all about using your imagination and create the best strategy. So we have the campaign mode, which kind of improves the idle rewards, the chest that you see right here. But that's not all in terms of PvE. We actually have the endless trial, which is kind of like similar with a void tower. You just climb levels. We have multiple dungeons to farm and grind for better loot. In terms of PvP, of course, we have the Glory Arena, which is the player versus player, but everyone's favorite game mode is the Guild War. 3 guilds are going in a 1v1v1 fighting on a map for total domination. That literally sounds super fun. Now we have the summoning system, the mercy system, which is awesome. We have a rerolling system for champions that you don't want to use anymore or you don't like. But let's do a quick summon here. So we're gonna open 10 books. Let's see if we're gonna get one legendary out of here. Oh, we got one. We got one. The rarity are a bit different. They're kind of going like uncommon. Oh, new hero as well. We got Assassin. Pretty awesome. They have a lot of in-game events and daily login rewards. You can find them on the left tab. But at the moment, they have a daily login Christmas event, which introduced a new legendary hero, Lucia, the Nun of Desperation. A very powerful hero that looks pretty cool. Plus, we are going to get X-Lot, another new legendary hero, but only in January. The Christmas daily login event lasts for 10 days. And we have the gift station event. We need to complete Christmas bounties to earn wishing stars and participate in the next event, the Lucky Wheel, where you can consume the stars that you earned and spin the wheel to get limited rewards, including fragments for legendary heroes and a lot of other goodies. They have the New Year celebration event as well, where we gotta accumulate XP to earn different rewards. Now, the snowy gifts are kind of like limited packs that the players can purchase, but we have 2 new game modes coming to the Kingdom of Adventures. The Treasure Dig game mode is on a hexagon-shaped map. You can lead a hero to the mission spot, fight enemies, and collect tons of rewards. And the Dungeon Rush, the hero can be controlled from left to right while you're fighting your enemies to collect the new loot. That was all for Valor Legends, guys. If you like what you saw on the screen, you can download the game by using the link in the description down below or in the pinned comments. Coming back to our enemy max HP hitters, guys, around a month ago I dropped a video telling you that their value is gonna surge with Hydra. Start building them because you're gonna need them. Husk, Royal Guards, all that good stuff. But we haven't really talked about different enemy max HP hitters. Some people might not have a Royal Guard, might not have a Husk, but they have a Septimus, they have a Coldheart. Can those champions deal some solid damage on the Hydra? So in today's video, guys, we're gonna try that out. If we're going all the way into the game, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to give them very similar builds and stats as well in terms of crit damage. We're not gonna focus on attack, guys, because none of these champions actually do more damage with a skill that's based on enemy max HP. I know some of them say multiply with attack, multiply with that, but honestly, it really makes no difference whatsoever when you're putting them attack, or if you're giving them attack up, you're gonna notice that the damage doesn't increase almost at all. So it's just a total waste to go with a lot of attack on these champions. So if we're having a look at Septimus, for example, okay? I have him on Savage and Cruel. Most of the champions will be on Savage and Cruel. Some of them will be on Savage and crit damage set. Now, the Cruel does ignore 5% more defense, and that's definitely very, very helpful since the Hydra heads are so tanky, especially the Head of Suffering. Now, what's the difference about this champion? Back in the day, when I made the one-shot Septimus strategy, okay, he was the only champion able to do it because his skill right here has the best damage out of all the enemy max HP hitters. Everyone was using this champion in the clan boss, and I was like, why is nobody using this champion on the spider? I want to see what he can do there. So as soon as I pulled him, I maxed him, took him in the spider, played around with masteries, dead allies, and stuff like that, and we managed to do the strategy to one-shot the spider. These multipliers are much better than Royal Guard or Husk because it's single target. Same with Coldheart. So if I'm putting Coldheart and Septimus, I'm pretty convinced that they're gonna do the same amount of damage. But each one of them will be bringing different utility. In terms of how tanky they are pretty similar. Like, he has 13k HP, a Coldheart has pretty much the same amount. So let me just find a Coldheart actually. And this is the one. 13k HP, she just has like 200 less defense and of course less attack, which doesn't really matter. But she brings different things to the game. Quadruple hit right here with heal reduction, decrease accuracy AoE, poison AoE if you're under heal reduction. So that's already very, very solid. And a single hit right here. Similar stats, how you guys can see, 250 plus crit damage on both of them, Savage, Cruel. In terms of masteries, the same thing, more or less. Septimus has War Master instead of Giant Slayer. And he might have a couple of different things. But I have Life Drinker on her. You don't really want to stress with Ruthless Ambush and go with Cycle of Violence because it's not going to pay off. It's not going to affect you in there. You can only do 10% of the damage. But if we're taking these champions in a fight, so let's go all the way to the Hydra. We're going to go on Nightmare because they're even tankier there. So we're gonna go right here, and I have Septimus and Coldheart set already. Actually, let me take Risk out because I don't need him in here. And let me bring an increased speed, boost the thermometer a bit. Let's go with Kimi for a second, just to make sure they're taking their turns in the right order. Would I use a single target over an AoE champion? No, because even though he hits 100k higher, 200k higher, he's not gonna equal the damage that an AoE is gonna do on all four of the heads, you know. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. Of course, you're not gonna do it. But if you don't have enough Royal Guards, you don't have enough Husks. And Husk is not amazing on this rotation because we have 2 Spirit heads to start with. A lot of weak hits, and that will cost you a lot on damage. Plus, out of all 4 of them, he has kind of like the lowest multipliers. But let's see a Coldheart right here with a Heartseeker going in the Head of Suffering. He's the tankiest, okay? If somebody tells you, don't crit cap your champions, make sure you're not overkilling the stats, he's lying to you. You're never gonna be able to overcap your champions on the Hydra, okay? They have so much defense and so much HP that if you don't have defense down and weaken, they're never gonna be capped, okay? So for example, if we go with this one right here, 606k, that is the maximum damage you can deal on this head with the enemy max HP hitter. If we're going with Septimus, 606k, exactly identical numbers with Coldheart, okay? So that's literally the maximum 10%. If we don't have defense down or weaken, all these changes, we need to have tons of crit damage in order to achieve the 10% maximum, the 10% damage that we can do, which is the maximum, of course, you know. If you're bringing a Royal Guard or you're bringing in a Husk, you won't be getting as much damage, at least on this specific head, since he's so tanky. In the next rotation, he's actually not gonna be in play. That's definitely gonna be a pretty good thing, since you can actually deal more damage on all the heads. And you're gonna be able to run a different strategy. I'm gonna drop a video closer to the date as well to show you how to make more damage on a different rotation and how to make sure you're keeping the same heads up and running at all cost, you know. So let's see if we're hitting, for example, some different targets now. That was the maximum there. I think the second tankiest from this rotation is the Head of Decay. So let's give it a go on that one and see the maximum we can reach there. Let's see. Oh, damn. That kind of dropped in the wrong moment. Okay, we're gonna go with this. What I like about Coldheart, though, if you're running her with accuracy, she can land the decrease accuracy, heal reduction, and afterwards land some poisons, which honestly can come in handy pretty good. So if we're going on this one, 449k. Now, the maximum I've hit with the Royal Guard on that one is like 420, 430. So that means that with the multipliers the Royal Guard has, I cannot achieve the maximum damage with defense down, weaken, and 260 crit damage. You know, so I would need probably around 300 crit damage to achieve the maximum damage with defense down and weaken on that head, which is not really something that you might wanna run on your champions, you know. Let's hit with Coldheart as well. Then I'm gonna bring in the other champions just so you guys can get an idea of how big of a difference it is. Some of you might already know the difference if you tried it yourself. Okay, so we actually got strengthened there. That's gonna reduce a bit my damage. Actually, no, it didn't. 449k as well, because it's kind of overheating actually our Coldheart, since his single target is much better than running a Royal Guard or a Husk. So we kind of seen what damage they do like this, single targets. If it would be to pick in between a Coldheart and a Septimus, I would definitely run Coldheart over Septimus a million times, because she's void affinity, no weak hits, and I do have decreased accuracy, I can land some poisons, and I have a Giant Slayer on the A1, which will make her much better in the longer run. You'll be getting more damage overall from her. So if we're bringing in a Royal Guard and a Septimus, you've seen what was the maximum damage on those two heads that we dealt, okay? So if I'm bringing in Husk, where are you? I gotta find which one is the right one. Okay, this one is built. So he's on Savage and a crit damage set, okay? And I have 258 crit damage on him. Very similar. It might be up and down with 1 or 2 crit damage on the other champions as well. And if I'm bringing in a Royal Guard, I do have an army of Royal Guards at the moment. And that is 249 crit damage, slightly lower. But he's still gonna hit harder than Husk just because of multipliers. We're gonna check their multipliers in a second, guys, okay? Hopefully we're not gonna get many weak hits, so I don't have to come back into the run. But this should give you an idea, guys, of what champions you should use for your second team, for your third team, if you don't have any of this available, if you don't have multiple copies of every single one of them, you know. So we've seen what damage we dealt before on all the tanky heads, okay? The rest, they're gonna get a bit of more damage, and they're gonna have lower HP. That's why the numbers are different on every single one of them. But if we're going in with the takedown from Royal Guard, let's see. 414 and 400k. So Septimus and Coldheart, they were hitting 200k more on the Head of Suffering, which is awesome, okay? Will I trade a Royal Guard to bring in a Septimus and run a Royal Guard and a Septimus, or a Royal Guard and a Coldheart? If I still have 2 Royal Guards, hell no. That's gonna be like a bad business, because we already missed on the damage from 3 different heads. Just to gain 200k, we probably missed up on a 1.2 million damage, you know? But if you don't have as many Royal Guards, definitely bring them in. And how you've seen, and I explained you, a Coldheart is much better than a Septimus at doing the job on the Hydra, guys, okay? And now bringing in Husk. Let's see. He has lower multipliers than a Royal Guard, so let's see what we're getting with him. 412k on the Head of Suffering. Unfortunately, we got a weak hit there. Let's see if we refresh with Kymar. Are we gonna be able to do the job on the head? I'm actually gonna use this, even though they're gonna cleanse. At least it's gonna allow me just a bit to get a tick in front of them. Okay, so Royal Guard again. Weak hit, 371k hit now. A bit lower. We do have the RNG, I think it's 15%. And Husk. Okay, Husk. Don't weak hit. 267k on that head. So it's a pretty big difference, but he's still dealing 1+ million from all the heads. So overall, it's still the right champion to go with. But if I don't have them, definitely Coldheart and Septimus comes afterwards, in my opinion. Now, let me quickly show you the multipliers on these champions. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at their multipliers, guys. We have Septimus right here. He has a 2.5 attack plus 0.1 enemy max HP. Honestly, I do not know to explain why that attack doesn't really affect the damage he deals with that skill, honestly. I tried with attack up, I tried giving him tons of attack before in the past, and honestly, was zero difference in the damage he was dealing with that specific skill. The A1, indeed, he does deal more damage with it, but not with the enemy max HP hitter. So his multiplier is pretty solid at 0.1. Coldheart, we have her the same, 1.7 attack plus 0.1 enemy max HP. Now these look pretty similar in terms of enemy max HP is a 0.1. But then when I'm running Coldheart versus Septimus on the Spider, Septimus definitely hits pretty hard compared to Coldheart. Like, I think he was doing around 1 million more than Coldheart. So maybe that attack does come into a play in a way or another. I honestly don't know how to explain it. I don't really know what's behind all that, you know. On Royal Guard, for example, we kind of have the same situation. It's 2 attack, but it's 0.1 enemy max HP as well. So they should all be pretty equal, but they're not, you know, because it's single target or AoE, and they are dealing different damage, how you guys saw it before on the test. On Husk, we have 0.1 enemy max HP as well. Similar, again, with the rest of them, but he's dealing the least amount of damage out of all. Now, still, Boyer, a lot of you guys were asking about this champion. She's really bad, man. She's really bad. 0.02 on the multipliers. Awful, okay? I haven't tested her since they nerfed her. She used to be awesome before. She was dealing pretty good damage on Clan Boss, and they insta-nerfed the champion like they've done in the past with different ones. And I haven't played her since then because she was so bad. I would not expect her to perform amazing against this, since this is on a 5-10 cooldown fully booked as well, you know. And Armiger, 0.05 enemy max HP and a 2.9 defense. Armiger as well could pretty much deal a good amount of damage on those heads if you don't have Coldheart, if you don't have Septimus. The only problem with this is not efficient on normal and hard, guys, okay? This is mainly for Brutal and Nightmare. That's where you're gonna start seeing significant damage from enemy max HP hitters. On the lower stages, I would literally just go with crazy nukers, you know, snipers and that. They'll be dealing more damage. But that was all for this video, guys. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching. Thanks again to Valor Legends for sponsoring this video, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.